They were once the living proof of Hollywood love, Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman, the couple who showed the world that fame and family could actually ride together. For nearly 2 decades, their story felt straight up unreal: red carpets, emotional songs, and smiles that looked untouchable. But behind all that perfection, time and distance slowly started pulling things apart, piece by piece. When news of their separation dropped after 19 years of marriage, fans were completely shook. How could something that solid just quietly fade out? And now, at 58, Keith Urban has finally broken his silence, not with anger, not with drama, but with a calm honesty that hits hard. His recent words and music hint at reflection, maybe even regret. So what really went down behind the spotlight? And what does Keith's silence say about love, loss, and the heavy price of fame? Stay tuned as we dig into the truth behind the heartbreak, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more untold Hollywood stories where silence speaks louder than words. The moment that shocked everyone. After months of saying nothing, Keith Urban's quiet confession at 58 sent shockwaves through Hollywood. During a recent interview, he finally mentioned Nicole Kidman, not with bitterness, but with a pause that said it all. This was his first public acknowledgement since Reuters officially confirmed their separation on September 30, 2025, ending a 19-year marriage once thought to be rock solid. The clip blew up fast, with fans saying they could see regret in his eyes, like a man replaying everything he lost. Whether it was a confession or just a slip, that moment reopened a story everyone thought was done. But what Keith said after the cameras stopped rolling revealed way more than any single sentence ever could. To the end of a fairy tale. For almost 20 years, Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman looked unbreakable, the kind of couple that made love seem easy and effortless. From red carpet premieres to family walks through Nashville, they seemed to have cracked the code between fame and family life. Their chemistry was real, their story was inspiring. But behind those glossy moments, distance was quietly creeping in. Keith's tours got longer, Nicole's filming schedules stretched farther, and the hours they once shared slowly slipped away. The separation wasn't explosive or messy, it was a slow emotional erosion hidden behind polite smiles. According to People magazine, friends revealed the breakup wasn't a secret within their circle. Keith had reportedly moved out weeks before the official filing, showing the decision had been building for a while. As one insider put it, it was a turning point, the moment when distance became reality. Still, they handled it with grace. Publicly, they spoke only about respect and co-parenting. Privately, the fairy tale ending had already started to fade. Their story began like a movie, but real life rarely sticks to a perfect script. And insiders say the warning signs were flashing long before he packed his bags. 3 cracks behind closed doors. Friends now admit the smiles were practiced long before the cameras even rolled. Behind the bright lights, Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman were struggling to stay in sync. His non-stop touring and her packed film schedule turned love into logistics. Nights apart became weeks, weeks turned into months. What the public heard as irreconcilable differences may have really been quiet emotional burnout. Rumors pointed to arguments over time apart and creative priorities, 2 people chasing big dreams while slowly losing touch with each other. The love didn't disappear, but the connection became routine. Then came the interviews. In one now viral moment with Ryan Seacrest, Keith was asked about Nicole, and his reaction spoke volumes. He froze, smiled awkwardly, and quickly switched topics. People magazine reported that his sudden silence had fans buzzing about what he was holding back. The clip spread like wildfire, with viewers saying they saw regret written all over his face. Those close to him say it wasn't anger, it was exhaustion, maybe even guilt. The weight of 2 decades, of promises kept and broken, finally showed. And those cracks got wider the moment a new face entered Keith's world. 4 of the Maggie bore whispers. It started as a duet, and ended as a headline. When 25-year-old country singer Maggie Bohr began performing alongside Keith Urban earlier this year, fans saw it as mentorship vibes, a legend helping a rising star. But then things got a little weird. During one concert, Keith changed a lyric from a song he originally wrote for Nicole Kidman. What was once a tribute to his wife suddenly referenced his new guitarist. That one move set the internet on fire. According to People magazine, the lyric change happened just weeks before the divorce went public, and insiders quietly called it a turning point. Fans started analyzing everything: the smiles, the harmonies, the shared looks on stage. Social media went wild, claiming their chemistry felt too natural, even though there's never been proof of anything romantic. Both Keith and Maggie stayed silent, never addressing the rumors. And honestly, that silence only made people more curious. Was it just professionalism, or a story he didn't want out there? For a man once known for wearing his heart on his sleeve, that silence hit louder than any denial ever could. But even as the internet pointed fingers, Keith's silence spoke volumes. Quick pause: if you're still watching, hit subscribe. New Hollywood revelations drop here before they hit the headlines. Section 5: The interviews that felt like regret. When Keith Urban finally sat down for interviews after the split, fans expected answers. What they got instead was hesitation. During a recent radio chat, the host mentioned Nicole's name, and Keith's confident tone suddenly dipped. He smiled briefly, gave a short comment about new chapters, then completely switched gears. That pause became one of the most replayed moments of his career. Clips from the interview spread all over social media, with fans saying they could sense something deeper behind his calm face. Some thought he looked relieved. Others thought he looked broken. Either way, it didn't feel like indifference. Body language experts pointed out his lowered eyes and subtle pauses, classic signs of someone choosing words carefully to avoid saying too much. Keith never outright said he regrets the end of his marriage, but a lot of viewers felt his emotions gave him away. And it wasn't just one interview. In the few appearances that followed, his tone stayed reflective, softer, more introspective, like he was still processing everything. He never had to say, "I regret it." The silence between his sentences said it for him. Because what he didn't say that day would end up echoing through every single song he's dropped since. 6. Regret hidden in his music. Fans swear they can literally feel the heartbreak tucked between the chords. Ever since the split, Keith Urban's sound has shifted, think softer rhythms, more reflective lyrics, and melodies that hit less like radio hits and more like memories on repeat. His recent performances carry a straight-up ache, like every guitar strum is saying something he never managed to say out loud. In one newer single, a haunting line stopped everyone in their tracks: "The silence after love is the loudest sound of all." Fans instantly linked it back to Nicole, saying Keith was finally spilling the regret he dodged in interviews. Music critics noticed his newer work feels stripped down, raw, emotional, almost like a confession booth with a beat. Every verse sounds like a private letter meant for someone from his past. Even his stage presence feels different, the flashy smiles and upbeat tempos are gone. Now, Keith sings with his eyes closed, holds notes longer, and lets the silence sit heavy between verses. He's never confirmed who these songs are about, but the vibe is loud: heartbreak, reflection, and forgiveness all tangled up in sound. For a lot of fans, it feels like Keith reaching out without actually speaking, using music as his only way to say sorry. His music doesn't feel like entertainment anymore, it feels like closure. But before all those sad songs, there was sorrow, a moment Keith still calls his biggest mistake. 7. When love met addiction. Way before divorce rumors ever hit the timeline, Keith Urban's private battles were already shaping his story. Early in their marriage, his fight with addiction almost blew everything up. Nicole Kidman stepped in, set up help, and stood right beside him when most people would have dipped. He later called her his savior, admitting she gave him a second shot at both life and love. But even after recovery, those emotional scars never fully healed. Insiders say Keith carried quiet guilt over the chaos he caused, the nights she spent worrying, and the distance that followed. What broke them later wasn't anger, it was straight-up exhaustion. The kind that creeps in when love gets tested one too many times. In interviews, Keith has hinted that fame once messed with his perspective, and that redemption came with a price. Every win afterward reminded him of what he almost lost. Nicole forgave him, but deep down, Keith feared that forgiveness would never really be enough. Those early struggles became the shadow behind their love, always lurking, even when everything looked picture-perfect. Some believe that old pain resurfaced years later, quietly eating away at the peace they fought so hard to rebuild. They survived it once, but not forever. No wonder the word, regret, seems to follow him everywhere. 8. The rumor that he wants her back. Whispers across fan forums say Keith Urban isn't done with the past, that deep down, he wants Nicole Kidman back. It all started when fans spotted subtle online clues. An old photo of Nicole liked from one of Keith's secondary accounts, a lyric from an unreleased song saying, "If I could turn time into forgiveness, I'd run right back to you." Within hours, social media went nuts, convinced Keith was speaking through music instead of words. Entertainment blogs jumped on it, claiming his emotional Nashville performances were messages meant just for Nicole. During one concert, he paused before singing a song he once wrote for her and softly said, "Some memories never fade." That one line sent fans into full meltdown mode. Still, Keith never officially confirmed any attempt to reconcile. Sources close to the situation say it's just art, not a secret signal. But the timing, the tone shift, the vulnerability, the openness, had people wondering if the heart he kept guarded was finally cracking. Whether he actually wants her back or not, the nostalgia is impossible to miss. His songs sound like letters never sent, melodies written for the one who slipped away. And while he stays quiet publicly, Nicole's own words tell a totally different story. Quick reminder, enjoying the story? Tap like and subscribe, so you don't miss the next twist behind Hollywood's biggest secrets. 9. Nicole's side of the story. Nicole Kidman hasn't clapped back, blamed, or thrown shade. Instead, she chose grace, a quiet acceptance that says more than any rant ever could. In a recent interview, when asked about the divorce, she simply said, "Everything happens for a reason," a line fans read as both strength and letting go. Rather than addressing Keith directly, Nicole threw herself into work, heading back to film sets with fresh focus and calm energy. People close to her say she's at peace, spending more time with family and close friends, far from the spotlight. While Keith's emotions spill out through music, Nicole's healing shows up in silence. Her public appearances feel calm, poised, smiling, with just a hint of sadness that reminds everyone she's still human. Fans may still hope for a reunion, but those close to Nicole say she's focused on rebuilding, not rewinding. She's learning how to stand on her own after nearly 2 decades as half of a power couple. And when asked if she'd ever look back, her answer was simple: "You never regret love. You just grow from it." Still, the more she moves forward, the more Keith seems stuck in the past. 10. The unspoken apology. There's been no press conference, no statement, not even a direct quote, just quiet moves that speak louder than words. Since the split, Keith Urban has let his actions talk. Fans noticed him revisiting old venues where Nicole once watched from the crowd, liking throwback posts from their past, and performing songs written for her without changing a single lyric. It feels like a man replaying memories he can't let go of. One post especially caught attention, a faded photo of a guitar on a chair, captioned, "Some songs never end." Fans flooded the comments, convinced it was his way of reaching out. His recent music videos feel layered with meaning too, blurred photos, fading rings, slow transitions that scream heartbreak. People close to him describe a new calm, reflection replacing his usual high-energy presence. He doesn't seem bitter or mad, just thoughtful. And for someone who's lived through addiction, fame, and chaos, that quiet feels like healing. He hasn't said the words, but the silence feels like an apology, not just to Nicole, but to himself. And as his songs keep echoing worldwide, one thing's clear: this chapter may be over, but the melody isn't done yet. 11. What we know versus what's speculation. Before jumping to conclusions, it's important to separate facts from rumors. Reuters officially confirmed Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman's separation on September 30, 2025, ending their 19-year marriage. People magazine later reported that Keith had quietly moved out weeks earlier, signaling a slow, private split rather than a dramatic breakup. Those are the only confirmed facts. Everything else, regret theories, coded lyrics, reunion rumors, lives in that gray area between observation and speculation. Fans read into lyrics, interviews, and even likes on social media. And while those theories keep the story alive, none have been confirmed by Keith or Nicole. What is certain is how respectfully they've handled the separation. No public fights. No insults. No mess. Just two people choosing silence over spectacle. Celebrities will always attract rumors, but the real story here is maturity. Two people navigating heartbreak without tearing down what they once built. Still, every rumor starts with emotion, and sometimes emotion carries a little truth that keeps everyone watching, wondering what's still unsaid. 12. Final reflection, her emotional close. Maybe regret isn't something you say out loud, maybe it's something you carry. At 58, Keith Urban seems to be doing exactly that. His performances, his words, even his silence point to a man still learning how to let go. Nicole Kidman chose a different lane: quiet strength, calm energy, eyes on the future instead of the past. Their story started like a love song, passionate, beautiful, full of promise. But real life doesn't follow perfect lyrics. Over time, distance, pressure, and pain turned harmony into silence. And yet, neither has spoken badly about the other. That respect, that grace, might be the truest sign of the love they shared. Fans ask if Keith regrets losing Nicole. Maybe he does, or maybe he's just grateful for what they had. Regret and gratitude often sit side by side, echoing in the spaces love once filled. Their chapter together may be closed, but the melody still lingers, soft, haunting, unforgettable. Do you think Keith still carries regret, or has he finally found peace? Subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories, where silence usually speaks the loudest.